Hey guys, it's Madison and welcome to this video in which I try to do my best to complete the 40-hour 7-day language challenge. So as the name implies, in this challenge you try to study languages for 40 hours over the course of a week, which comes out to almost 6 hours a day, around 5 hours and 42-ish minutes, I think, which is quite a lot of studying to do 7 days in a row for sure. I have tried this challenge once before, several years ago, and at that time I didn't have a full-time job. I was working very part-time and from home. So it was like a really good situation for me to be able to complete the challenge and be successful, which I was. Barely, I think. It was actually Zorro Language's idea this time to complete this challenge. She didn't invent it, but she kind of decided to invite people to do it along with her at the same time, which I thought would be really fun to join, and so here I am doing it. And it actually worked out perfectly, the dates that ended up getting selected for this challenge, because this weekend I actually have a 4-day weekend from Friday through Monday. And 3 of those days will be during the challenge because the challenge goes Monday through Sunday. So I will have 3 days at the end of the challenge to catch up and do any studying that I need to do in order to try to complete the challenge successfully. Now, unlike last time where, like I said, I was working very part-time and from home, this time I have a full-time job, and so it's going to be a much bigger challenge for me because I'm not great at being productive on a typical workday because I'm tired when I get home from work. Now, the nice thing about my job is that even though it's a full-time position, my hours that I have to actually be at work are 9 until 2 or 3, depending on the day, which is only, 5 or 6 hours per day? But even though it's fewer hours technically than the average, 9 to 5 kind of job, I actually do more work than that. I still have to prep every single class and grade a bunch of stuff, so it ends up being a lot more hours than just the 9 to 2 every single day. But the nice thing about that is that I was able to prepare all my classes for this entire week of this challenge in advance. So the week prior, I stayed after school the last day of the week and just spent several hours mapping out and prepping every single thing I needed to get done so that this week of the challenge, I wouldn't have to spend extra time after school doing work stuff, and I would be able to come straight home and spend more time studying languages. But yeah, let's actually jump into how this challenge is going. So today is actually day 5 of the challenge. I'm jumping in a little bit late. So this challenge started off kind of rough because the night before the first day, I only got 2 hours of sleep. I could not fall asleep for the life of me. I don't know why, it was just, I couldn't sleep. And so on Monday, the first day of the challenge, I was extremely tired. And so when I finished work and came home, I tried to do some studying and my eyes were just drooping closed. I could not focus. And so I decided to take a nap, which really helped me not be dead tired for the rest of the day. But that did mean that I was kind of starting my studying late in the day. Prior to the challenge starting, I kind of had this illusion that I would be able to complete 5 hours and 40-ish minutes every day, even on work days. I didn't want to let the hours remaining pile up for the weekend and then have to do 12 hours every day on the weekend. So I was kind of imagining, okay, 5 hours and 40-ish minutes should be doable, right, for a weekday? But apparently it's not, because it was a struggle this week to get enough hours in, and I'm definitely behind currently. But yeah, the first day, Monday, I got 4 hours and 12 minutes in. Now the next night I got 6 hours of sleep, which was better, but it was not as much as I had hoped to get, and so I was still kind of in a little bit of sleep debt, getting only 8 hours of sleep over 2 nights. And so once again, Tuesday after work, I was dead tired, took a nap again, and then started studying. So once again, I was studying at 4 or 5 p.m. in the day, but I actually managed to get 6 hours of studying done. But that's actually more than I had intended to get, because that was only achieved because I started a new Chinese drama, intending to only watch 1 episode as I was laying in bed about to fall asleep. But then it was a decent start to the drama and I got really intrigued by the plot, and so I ended up watching several episodes and staying up too late once again and maintaining my bad sleep schedule for the week. But it did help me at least get 6 hours of languages in, so at least there's that, I guess. But I was still behind overall. Wednesday, once again, similar pattern. Wednesday, I finished school a little bit later than the other days at 3. And then once again, I was tired because I had stayed up too late, plus the already existing sleep debt. And so once again, I was starting late in the day, 4 or 5. And I managed to get 5 hours in. But at this point, I was still about 3 hours behind. I got a little bit more sleep that night, but still I was pretty tired on Thursday. Once again, took a nap. I took a nap literally every single day after work this week, which was not my intention going into the week, but that's what ended up happening. So, and then Thursday, I was feeling a little bit burnt out, honestly, and that kind of scared me. So I didn't want to push myself hard on Thursday and then just be dead for the weekend when I needed to, power through the most hours. And so on Thursday yesterday, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to not set any expectations for myself today. not set any goals. I'm gonna try to get some studying done. I will see what I can accomplish today. And I actually ended up getting still 3 hours and 16 minutes done on Thursday, which is more than I thought I would when I, wasn't really pushing myself. But what that meant is leading into this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of not having work, I have 21 and a half hours of time that I still need to spend on languages over 3 days in order to be successful, which means I have to study for basically 7 hours and 10 minutes every single day this weekend in order to get to 40. And 7 hours a day is a lot of studying, even with no work. That's a lot of time to be, actively engaged in languages. But I'm going to try and see if I can be successful. So yeah, today is Friday, my first day of this long weekend. I was able to wake up a little bit later than usual today, and so I'm feeling much more rested, which is good. I probably won't need a nap today. I'm not planning on taking a nap today. And I gotta have a crazy goal for today. So yesterday, like I said, I was kind of taking it easy and chilling. Today, I kind of want to push and see how far I can push myself in one day. I kind of had the goal of trying to get 10 hours today, which is kind of insane, and I'm probably not going to actually hit 10 hours. But if I do hit 10 hours, then I'll be caught up to where I technically should have been if I had gotten the recommended numbers every single day. But yeah, that's where we are. It's day 5. It's already 2:30 almost. So the time is ticking very quickly away. I actually got up at 9 and it's already 2:30. And I don't know where time goes, I swear. Honestly, I'm not a morning person, so time in the morning seems to just disappear. I have done a little bit of studying. I think I'm a little bit over an hour and a half so far. So I'm gonna need to basically study the entire rest of the day with basically no breaks if I'm going to actually achieve 10 hours. But really anything 7 or over, I'll be very, very happy with for today. So let's see what I can do. Yeah, speaking of what I am doing, I haven't even mentioned the languages yet. At the end, I'm gonna break down exactly what I studied over the week for those hours and stuff, but basically I've been very boring this week. Every day I've done almost the exact same activities. When I'm kind of busy and stressed, then I tend to fall back to my regular habits. Yeah, the majority of my time has been spent on Saturday Reader, the app, because I bought the premium subscription for that app this month, and so I'm trying to use it as much as possible on a daily basis for the entire month while I'm paying for it. And so that's been definitely a daily priority, and that's going to continue for the rest of the weekend. I've also done some Chinese every single day, and of course I've been using the Do Chinese app. I also purchased the premium subscription there. And then Korean I haven't done as much as, actually. I've just been doing a little bit of reading here and there and watching a few little shows, but I've definitely not been focusing on that. And so yeah, it's been really boring. I've been doing the exact same things every single day. I actually made a whole list of activities that I could do for each language that I'll put on the screen now. So I have so many more ideas of things I could do, but I always tend to fall back on the exact same things over and over again. So for this weekend, when I have more time, I'm hoping to kind of expand what I'm doing and do more fun, exciting things, including I have these textbooks over here for Korean that I brought that I've been meaning to finish, even though some of them are kind of maybe not quite as advanced as I am. I want to actually go through and, use them fully. And so hopefully this weekend I can do a good job of diversifying what I'm doing and spend more time on a variety of things instead of just constantly the same old 2 or 3 resources over and over again. So I think I'm going to make a list of things I want to accomplish today from this list of things. Hopefully I can get close to 10 hours, if not 10 hours, but we'll see how far I can push myself on this Friday. So it's now day 6, Saturday, of the challenge, and yesterday actually went pretty well. I ended up getting 9 hours and 11 minutes of language studying / exposure done, and I honestly didn't feel burnt out or that tired at the end of the day, which was kind of surprising to me. But part of that is probably because I took a kind of break from the active studying in the middle and watched a Chinese drama for almost 4 hours, so a little mini binge session in the middle of all the active studying and stuff. But yeah, I felt pretty good about what I did yesterday. I did do a few new activities like the Korean textbooks, comprehensible Japanese, that kind of stuff, but I didn't do all of the activities that I was hoping to do, and so today I'm really hoping to focus on those other things that I haven't done. I got a little bit later start today. I woke up a little bit later and then my morning was just a bit lazier, and because, you know, I did get over 9 hours in yesterday, I felt like I had a little bit more leisure in the morning to relax and not feel like I had to wake up and bam, get straight into studying. So yeah, for these last 2 days, I have just over 12 hours of time left, which would be an average of 6 hours a day if I split it evenly. I feel like I can, you know, after seeing how yesterday went so smoothly, I feel like I can actually get in more than 6 hours today. And that way tomorrow is, you know, kind of stress-free. I know I'll be able to finish all the hours and stuff. So yeah, I'm not really setting a specific goal for today. I'm just hoping to get over 6 hours if possible and just see how many new activities I can fit in. But hopefully I'll spend even more time today on active studying and less on watching just shows and stuff, but we'll see. And yeah, that's my goals for today, and I will check in again probably tomorrow. All right, it's day 7, the final day of this challenge, and I have a weirdly high amount of motivation still coming to the end of this challenge on the last day. But yeah, as far as yesterday goes, I got almost 7 hours of language study, which means that coming into today, I had just under 5.5 hours left of studying left to do. So this is the first day I'm coming in actually ahead of the curve of where I should be according to the average amount per day that you should do, which I would not have predicted to be the case at the beginning of this week. But somehow I managed to catch up and be very slightly ahead coming into the last day. Yesterday, I managed to spend a majority of my time doing active studying once again, so I was pretty happy with that. And hopefully I can continue that into today. It's currently a little past 2:30 in the afternoon on this fine Sunday, and I actually already have almost 2 hours of studying completed today. I did a little bit of vocab review And then while I was eating lunch, I was watching some comprehensive Japanese. While I was getting ready and tidying my apartment, I was listening to old chapters of Do Chinese that I've read already as a review of the story, doing stuff like that. And so just by those little things, I've already gotten almost 2 hours, which means I only have 3.5 hours left to go. And like I said, it's only just past 2:30 in the afternoon. So, I mean, I guess anything could happen, but it's looking very likely that I'm going to finish this challenge. And unless things go absolutely terribly today, I'm going to probably finish on a pretty high level of motivation, which again, I was not expecting. I was expecting to be drained and tired and stressed at the end of this challenge, but I'm feeling really good. It's kind of weird how this challenge like resets your level of what's normal to study in a day. Like in the weeks before this challenge, I was attempting to do 1 hour of Saturday reader every single day. And just getting that 1 hour in every day was honestly kind of a drag and just felt like the longest of time, especially on work days again when I'm tired and have no energy. But you know, now it's the last day and I'm like, oh, only 3.5 hours? That's so easy. So it's funny how that kind of resets your perspective. But to finish off the day, once again, of course I am still going to do my basic mainstream typical daily activities like do Chinese and Saturday reader, but I also still want to mix it up a little bit and do some of my less common activities. Yesterday I was very happy. I mixed in a lot of different activities and things that I have not done in a long time, like breaking down a song. I haven't done that because I date my song entries in my little notebook, and the last time I done that was sometime in 2021, I think. It was a long time ago. So yeah, it was fun to do that. And so hopefully again today I can mix things up a bit. I still haven't done like as much Korean news as I would have hoped. I did a very small news segment last night because I was tired at that point. I didn't feel like doing the whole big shebang. So hopefully today, finally on the last day, I can do some longer Korean news studying. But yeah, aside from that one specific goal, I'm just gonna kind of do what I feel like doing and see how many hours I end up with. Presumably at least 40 by the end of today for the whole week. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
매우 강한 바람이 불 것으로 예상됩니다. 이런
All right, time for the final little update slash overall review and stats review of the week. Sorry about the background noise if you can hear it. I have a fan going because it's currently 31 degrees Celsius in my apartment and I'm melting into a puddle, and so I need to keep the fan on so I don't actually die. So please excuse any noise you hear. But yeah, I'm overall very happy with how the week went. I ended up succeeding. I got 7 hours and 29 minutes, so just under 7.5 hours for Sunday, the final day of the challenge. And so I ended up beating my overall goal of 40 hours for the week, and I ended up getting a total of 42 hours and 3 minutes for this language challenge week, which is excellent, especially because I was, like I said, working a full-time job, and that is a hard thing to do. So yeah, let's get into how the week ended up. I didn't really set a hard and fast goal of how many active studying hours I wanted to get versus passive, just exposure hours. But I think like I was hoping to get around half or more of active studying. Didn't quite hit that much, but I'm still happy with what I ended up getting, which is 17 hours and 41 minutes of active study and 24 hours and 22 minutes of passive language exposure, which means that passive was just under 60% of my hours for the week. But again, I think 42% active studying is not bad at all. And if you think about like, you know, studying almost 18 hours of active studying in 1 week, that is a lot for me. So I'm very, very happy and satisfied with that, even though it's not quite the nice, pretty 50% that I was hoping for. If you break it down by language, you can see that 80% of my studying was split pretty evenly between Japanese and Mandarin, with Korean just being 22% of the week overall. And if you've watched my content a lot in the past, you'll know that's actually pretty different, like pretty remarkably different than how it typically is, which is where Korean is usually the largest part of the pie chart, and especially Japanese is usually a very, very tiny sliver of the pie chart. But like I mentioned earlier in this video, I have been really focusing on Japanese a lot trying to study at least an hour every day since I got the premium subscription for Saturday Reader app. And so it's no real surprise if you think about that Japanese is such a high category in here. And Mandarin is really only this high because of passive content, as you will soon see. But yeah, if you look at the total hours split up over the week, you can see that, no big surprise, I already mentioned it in the video, but the weekend days of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were definitely my highest days, which again, no surprise, I was working the other 4 days of the week, and so I just had less time in the day and had less mental energy in the day to get things done. But I'm very happy that I ended up doing at least a little bit of every single language every single day. Although, as you can see, some days were little tiny pieces of Korean or little tiny bits of Chinese. But I'm very happy that Japanese was such a consistent chunk of my day every day, which again boiled down to the fact that I was really trying to do at least an hour of Saturday Reader every single day, and it ended up being actually typically more than an hour of Saturday Reader every single day. Now, if you just look at the active time I spent on languages and break it down by language, you can see that Japanese surges forward and is by far the biggest category for the week, with almost 60% of the pie chart, and Korean and Mandarin basically are evenly split between the other 40%. And again, like I already said, that's just because I was spending so much time on Saturday Reader every single day. And if you look at the daily breakdown for active study, that becomes very clear. There's this very consistent large chunk of Japanese every single day. Korean and Mandarin are much smaller chunks on every single day. And even on Wednesday and Thursday, I didn't do any active studying for Korean at all. The Mandarin section is basically do Chinese, and I spent 1 day trying Wordsmith again, although it ended up glitching out on me, and so after a little while I couldn't progress in the story anymore. It wouldn't move any further, so there was a weird problem with the site. So unfortunately, I don't think I can use that anymore because that was the only free story, and it has a glitch partway through. So that's that for that resource. It's a shame because I really liked that story. The interactive story format, so I'm kind of sad that it ended up glitching and not working. I might try to email their support and just let them know that there's a problem with their story and see if they can fix it, and so I can continue, but bummer about that. And then I also, like I mentioned, got the Mandarin app and tried it. It's very like webtoon based, and you can click on vocab to see it, but honestly it's very limited as far as the amount of text in each story, so I didn't find it as helpful as do Chinese, so I can't really see myself using it super often in the future, since I feel like I would always pick do Chinese over it, even though it has the pretty pictures. It's just, that's not why I'm reading the story. I'm reading it for the story, not for the pictures, so probably not going to use that too much in the future, but I did give it a shot this week. As for Korean, I went through kind of a laundry list of different activities. Although I am very satisfied overall with the week, I am kind of disappointed that I didn't spend a bit more time on my active Korean study, but you know, it's fine overall. I'm still very happy with what I did manage to accomplish, and the fact that even though I didn't spend as much time as I would have liked, I at least did manage to kind of do a wide variety of the different resources that I had hoped to use. Now, if you look at passive time, that is where Mandarin really steps to the forefront, taking up just over 50% of my passive exposure hours for the week. And that is just because the primary dramas that I'm watching currently, or really just one, is a Mandarin drama, and so that's why that is such a high category. But I'm also pretty proud of Japanese, which kind of splits the other 50% with Korean, because if you follow my channel for a while, you know that I really struggle to find Japanese content that I enjoy. And so honestly, any native Japanese content that I can get is a win in my book. And so I'm very happy with the 6.5 hours of Japanese content that I did manage to consume over this week. And the majority of that was actually the anime Agretsuko, which was recommended to me by a viewer a long time ago on my channel. I don't remember who it was now. It's been over a year probably. But I'll try to find the comment and put it here. But yeah, I started watching the show and watched the first season like a year and a half ago, whenever I first started watching the show based on that viewer's recommendation. And it was like fine at the time. I didn't really get into it back then, but I decided to give it another shot now, and I'm glad I did, because I ended up getting a lot more invested into the storyline in the later seasons. I kind of knew what to expect as far as the random heavy metal parts of the show, and also I was a bit more braced for the very cartoony character voices of the characters. I think that's part of the reason that I don't think I'll ever be able to get fully into anime. Even if the story is decent, the fact that the characters have like anime style voices and they're very like over dramatized or like really weird cartoony sounds, I don't feel like I'm watching an adult show, even though it's like covering like an adult's life things. I can't ever get to that full point of enjoyment. So even though I really got much more invested into the storyline and enjoyed the show a lot more this time around, and I'm actually almost done with all the seasons that are currently available. I'm not sure if there will be more seasons in the future, but I can't get over that hump of it being a cartoon and with cartoony voices, unfortunately. But yeah, I did find it super, super helpful to get that daily exposure of Japanese content along with my pretty heavy daily dose of active studying with Satoru Reader. And I found that I was actually understanding quite a bit of words, or at least recognizing words that I was learning on the app in the show, and same thing with like sentence structures and that kind of stuff. I was really able to like hear and pick out those expressions or words or grammar patterns in the show. So I was really happy, and I felt like I was like feeling progress, which is always a great feeling to have, and so I was very happy with that. And yeah, you can definitely see if you look at the daily breakdown of my passive learning that there was that consistent little bit of Japanese every single day. And you can definitely also see where I have my little binge sessions with the Mandarin show that I was watching as well. As far as Korean goes, it's kind of a random hodgepodge of a few things. I watched like an episode or two of this Makjang, which is like a soap opera-y kind of show, which is just so stupid. So I'm probably not going to continue with that. The other little bits were bits of Yone Tamga, which is a Korean variety show that I like to watch. Oh, I also forgot to mention that for Japanese, in addition to the anime I watched, I also watched some comprehensive Japanese on YouTube, which was also a recommendation from a viewer. And I'm still making my way through the beginner playlist that they have on their channel. And by the way, once again, big thank you to both the viewer who recommended Agresko forever ago on my channel, and also the viewer who recommended comprehensible Japanese. And the struggle for me to find Japanese content that I enjoy continues. So if you, again, have any recommendations for Japanese shows, I'm always accepting suggestions. I think there's still a few shows actually that were suggested to me a long time ago that I never did get around to. So I should go back through my comments and try to find those suggestions as well. But yeah, like I said, I'm always accepting new suggestions for Japanese content. So yeah, that was my week of this language challenge. I'm very happy that I succeeded and even got 2 extra hours beyond the goal time. Honestly, I don't think I would have succeeded if I hadn't been, propelled to do it by Jo Renee Languages, and because I had said I was going to do it on her channel and I knew others were also joining in as well, I felt that extra push of accountability and motivation, and so I really think I wouldn't have even attempted this if it hadn't been for her idea. So I'm very happy for that and happy that I ended up doing it, but I'm also very glad that it's over. I'm not gonna lie, the day after the challenge ends, I'm ready for some leisure, not gonna lie. And I definitely rode that wave of leisure for a few days after the challenge, and I've kind of reset to my normal standard of language learning, although I am still pumping through my daily Japanese hour per day goal. So I'm also very happy with how consistent I've been with that, but I will say more about that in a future video. So stay tuned for that. And that's enough rambling and talking for this video. Gosh, this is probably gonna be a really long video. Sorry about that, but I had a lot to say. What can I say? But I think I am finally done for this video, and I will see you guys next time. 안녕.